We're going to be continuing with this, coming up with a thematic statement for this poem, okay? So you should have annotations on all of this at this point. If you are absent or you fell behind and you would like a copy of this before tomorrow, please email me and I can send you a PDF of the class annotation. So that way you get caught up. I'm going to now share the PowerPoint that we were working with last class to continue on with this stuff, okay? All right, so we looked at, like I just said, the material items. We made annotations for the significance of those. We talked about what the significance of those items are, what she's possibly disregarding there. So what I want you guys to do now is this last step. So I want you to look through the annotations that you made, look at the different stanzas, and I want you to make a statement, probably like at the bottom or maybe off to the side somewhere on the poem. Do you think that she's ever truly happy based off of what we've read, what's going on in the poem, what she's doing, what she's valuing, what she's disregarding, all those things? Do you think that she's ever truly happy and why? So write a brief sentence at the bottom or off to the side somewhere about your thoughts. Make sure you have a reason for that based off of what in the poem does it seem like she's ever truly happy, okay? So take 2 minutes. That includes if you need to reread some of the stanzas, maybe look back through your annotations, okay? So 2 minutes to figure out your opinion on if you think she is ever truly happy, starting now. We can have multiple answers if you'd like, or you can see other people's answers as well. So going back onto here, I'm going to call on a few people like I just said, and I'm going to add it just to the bottom over here. Okay, so do we think she's ever truly happy and why? Let's hear from Oscar. Oscar, what do you think? Is she ever truly happy and why?
I said she's never truly happy because she always wants more and more, and she can never get satisfied with one object, so she gets more items to find more happiness.
Very good, yeah.
She doesn't find it.
Yeah, good. So the fact that in every stanza she keeps taking something new, it shows us that she's not satisfied with what she took in the previous stanza, meaning she's not really happy, at least based off of what the poem is telling us, okay? So she is never truly happy because in each stanza she is taking something different, proving the item from before was not enough for her. Very good. Thank you, Oscar. And I'll leave this up if you guys want to add this to your own, maybe form the sentence in this manner, you totally can, or just leave whatever you have on there. Let's get another response. Let's hear from Andy. Andy, what do you think? Is she ever truly happy?
I put that she's happy but not truly happy. She's happy because she gets everything she wants, but she's not truly happy because of the ways she gets them. Okay,
but so what is the way that she gets them? Can you explain that a little bit?
Like it says she has 8 engagement rings. That means she could like use people and just like go behind their back and steal it.
Okay, so because she is using people, so she might be like surface level happy, but not internally happy.
Yeah.
Seems to be surface level happy, not internally happy. Very good. Okay. And let's get one more opinion on here. Let's hear from Zoe. Zoe, can you tell us, do you think she's ever truly happy?
I said that it never seems like she's content with what she has or has taken, and the evidence of that would be in every stanza she takes something that doesn't belong to her, but she does it within like multiple periods of her life, which show that she isn't truly happy.
Very good. The fact that she is periodically taking things throughout her life proves she is never content for extended amount of time. Very good. Okay, so those 3 responses are all wonderful. You guys did a great job actually kind of commenting on something. These sentences that I put here, you can use these or you can add these to your own poem if you'd like, but please keep the one that you actually did right, okay? So then I can see what your thoughts were when I look over your annotations. But again, if you want to add, feel free to add. So the next step in this, I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint. We're getting closer to actually writing a theme. So we need to talk about what exactly is a theme, okay? Or what exactly is a thematic statement. So a theme is basically just a topic and the author of the text opinion or message about that topic. Now, when we're talking about thematic statements, it's literally just a sentence that states the text overarching theme, okay? So you're gonna hear me say, you need to write a thematic statement, or what is a thematic statement for this text? You'll hear questions like that or tasks like that. When I say that, all I'm asking for is a sentence that states the text theme, okay? Very simple. When you're writing a thematic statement, you must always include the title of the text, the author's first and last name, and an arguable opinion on some topic, okay? So I'm gonna ask you guys, what is the main topic of this poem? Can anyone unmute themselves and tell us? What is the main topic of this poem?
I think the main topic of this poem is about her greed for like materialist.
Stop right there, Veronica. So it's greed. Yes, you said that. That's all you need to say. A topic is one word. Greed, materialism. That is the topic of this poem, okay? And that's given based off of the actual title, right? And I also told you that's the topic of this unit. So the topic of this poem is greed or materialism, anything along those lines. When you start getting into an explanation like Veronica is about to do, you're getting into either A, summary of the text, or B, a theme. So if I ever ask you, like, is this a topic, and I ever say more than one word or a quick phrase, you know that it is not a topic, okay? If I say the topic is greed because the girl, blah, 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 you're gonna be like, no, that's not the topic. The topic is just the word, okay? So you're going to take that topic, greed or materialism, and then you're going to form an opinion based off of the text. What is the author trying to tell me about that topic? Okay. And that's what we're going to practice today. And we'll also practice it tomorrow. So some examples of thematic statements are written on the right-hand side here. It says, in Catherine Mansfield's short story, The Doll's House, which you guys read last semester, she uses the character's actions to display how classism is a mentality that is passed down through generations, and in order for it to be eliminated, one must be shown better behavior. So our topic here is classism, or the idea that one social class is better than another social class. And the opinion is that it is a mentality passed down, okay? So it's a learned behavior that in order to be eliminated or gotten rid of, you have to be shown better, okay? So you have to be taught how to not do that. So that is a proper thematic statement, okay? The second one, the novel To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee conveys the message that prejudice, no matter the type, is completely misguided and can only lead to violence. So in this one, we have the title of the text, we have the author's name, and then the message, the topic of prejudice, and then the opinion that it is misguided and it will lead to violence, okay? So when we're writing thematic statements, stay away from summary of the text, okay? You're not gonna say, the theme of this story is that the girl is ungrateful for what she has. That's not a theme. That's just telling me about the person in the story or the person in the poem, okay? Stay away from things like that. So we're going to actually practice this now. So at the bottom of your poem or somewhere wherever you have space, you're going to write a proper thematic statement for this poem. To help with this, think about how the author is actually answering one of the big idea or big topic questions I gave you on your notes. So you might need to pull up your notes if you want to look back at those, or if you remember one of them, you can do that too. But basically those questions were, why do we want material items to begin with? The second was something along the lines of, what do our possessions reveal about us? And then the third is, can material items bring true happiness? Okay, so he actually does address a couple of those questions, or a combination of those questions. So you can feel free to link this poem to any of those while forming your thematic statement. But it is your time to actually write one. So I'm going to give you on the document, I'm going to give you a sentence frame, and you can just finish this sentence, or if you'd like to just write it on your own, you totally can. So I'm going to say, Yusuf Kamunyaka uses his poem Avarice to convey, and then you would continue on with that sentence, okay? If you don't use the sentence frame, totally fine. Just make sure you have his first and last name, and make sure you have the title of the poem in here, okay? So go ahead and take, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to write a 3 really good thematic statements, all because they state the author's name, they state the title, they state a topic, and they state an opinion on a topic. Some things I was noticing in the thematic statements that you guys said that are not so good, we want to try to get rid of those habits, are things like stating that the poem is about greed because the girl was never satisfied with what she had. Okay, that's really just saying that it's about the topic of greed, and then you summarize the poem. Okay, you want to stay away from phrasing things like that. Some other ones I saw in here, let me see if I can find one. If you find yourself saying like, because, let's see. If you say this poem is about greed and hurting people because the girl in the poem is hurting people and taking from people, that's just you summarizing the poem as well, okay? There's a fine line between commenting on the topic and the opinion on that and just being into summary, okay? So please try your best to stay away from that. If all you said was Yusuf Kamanyaka's poem is about greediness, that still is just stating a topic. You're not actually stating a theme, okay? So you need to have a topic and an actual lesson or opinion about that topic. It's very crucial that that's what happens, okay? So we're gonna keep working on this next class. I'm gonna go back to the PowerPoint because you have one more connection that you get to make for this poem before moving on. So you guys did your theme, your thematic statement. We shared, you guys got your participation points if you sent it in the chat. The last thing you need to do is you need to make a connection between that theme, or maybe one of the themes that I added to our document, and compare that message to one of the guiding Bible verses, okay? So you have 2 guiding Bible verses from your notes. You need to pick one that relates to the theme that we just came up with, whether that relation is that they're saying 2 completely different things, or whether that connection is saying that very similar things, okay? So you could start your answer. You're gonna write this right on your poem, find a space on your poem for this. You're gonna start it by saying something like, the theme in Avarice is either similar or different than the Bible verse blank. And then you give the actual reference for the Bible verse. And then I need a sentence explaining that, okay? So it's gonna be 2 sentences, one saying whether or not the verse is different or the same as the theme, and then explaining that. Is that clear? Thumbs up if that's clear. 2 sentences. All right, cool. So I'm gonna go back to the document so you guys can see the themes that I wrote on here too, or added here if you'd like to. And then just find a space, whether that's on the poem or just below it. You guys do have some space at the bottom. And I'll give you some sentence frames down here as well. All right.
Miss Condes,
Yes, ma'am.
do you remember what the notes were called that had like the Bible verses on them?
They're just the Unit 3 intro notes.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to call on about 2, maybe 3 people, depending on how long the explanations are. I might call on a few more to share. If you're called on, just read your response, or you can simply just explain it. Okay. So let's hear from Cyrus. Cyrus, what do you think? Is this message in Avarice similar or different than which Bible verse, and why?
I picked the Matthew 16:24 verse,
Okay.
and I think it's similar because it's similar to the message of Avarice, which is there's no point of having everything if you just want more and you're willing to forfeit your soul for that.
Okay,
and
very good.
gain your soul back.
Yeah, good. They're both kind of commenting on like, what's the point of having all of this stuff if you're not actually like internally good? Very good. All right, let's hear from Josue. Josue, what do you think?
I said the theme from the poem is similar to the verse of Luke 8:14 because it says that being greedy or wanting riches and pleasures will never keep you satisfied or happy.
Very good. Yes, very similar messages there. You're never truly going to grow as a person if you're being choked by all these earthly pleasures and material items. All right, let's hear from one more person. Julia. Julia, what did you say for this one?
Oh, I said that it's similar to Matthew 16:26, that it says about like it's not good to gain like the whole world and they won't be happy still.
Okay. Okay, very good. Yes, like what is the point? Both of them are very much so saying that. And that is basically what I was wanting you guys to get at. This poem is saying something very similar to what we are hearing in the Bible, okay? So we will be continuing talking about theme tomorrow in a less text-based way. So you'll get some more practice for that tomorrow. Be aware, moving into day 4 of this week, you guys are going to be assigned your first writing assignment, okay? It'll be a progress assessment, but you don't want to like not be here on day 4, okay? So other than that though, you will turn these notes in tomorrow in class. I'll give you a couple minutes at the start, so that way if you need to finish anything up tonight, you can. You don't have any homework and you are free to go. Have a great day, guys. Great job today. Bye.